That is an excellent talk, how to beat the odds in the life. I'm very, very influenced. Thanks. I'm going to work on that, Pelai. Now, you probably read this many places. You heard about it. You cannot beat the odds against the casino. Did you ever wonder how do the casinos make money? Is this bunch of lucky guys running the casinos? Or smart guys have to select the lucky dealers? Or is there something else? We talk about art of the casino, people management, a little bit of scientific part of it, reinvestment. What do we reinvest? What is there to return to customers? So when you search online, how do the casinos make money? There's one common, sensible answer you will find out. And it will say housage or house advantage. It is quite a simple word. Then you look more, you find few people who knows what it is. It's a mathematical term. And you actually go and look at it and ask for explanation. A math guru straight away will tell you this, or maybe this, or this. And if you are like me, without an advanced math education, it is quite a challenge to understand all this, and you give up quickly. But I don't speak perfect math, as I don't speak perfect English. I speak broken English, and I know a little bit of broken math. So I will attempt to show you the concept of housage with this. So now, house advantage, when you start talking about it, it gets complicated. You need one concept first. That will be probability. Without this terminology, you cannot move to housage. And we're going to talk about housage, or house advantage. Then we will move to how we will use this information. How do we make sense out of it? And that is going to be theoretical win. I will refer to as theo win, so you can understand it's a theoretical win. So probability, the shortest one in this lesson today. We all have this in our life. Heads and tails. We all flip the coin. We know it is fair. I'm not talking about sitting on the edge. One side is heavy. What if I start with heads? Forget about that. Perfect coin, perfect toss. What is the outcome? We all know it is 50-50. We say it 50-50 in our normal life, daily life. When you talk to math guys, they will say 50% probability of heads and 50% tails. Fine. Okay, let's go 50-50. You know it is 50-50. Now, 50-50 is the probability of coin. Two outcomes. Remember that. Now, we walk into that imaginary casino. It's a little bit imaginary because there's no such casino in the world. This casino offers you the game, heads and tails. You can bet either one, heads or tails, or you can bet both. Let's say you have $100. You put on heads. Then casino rule says, when you win, we pay you 1-to-1. When you lose, we'll take your money. So you say, okay, that looks fair to me, very equal. You don't feel like there's an advantage being taken by the casino, because there's none. Imagine that. You put heads, $100, tails, $100. Let the dealer flip the coin. You're going to play forever without losing a cent. $100 goes from heads to tails. It goes from tails to heads. There's no casino operator with right mind will ever offer this game. That is zero house advantage. You are just wasting time, probably wasting manpower, wasting electricity. So if it is zero, how does 100% housage look like? So that's another insane casino. I call it really insane. Before that, 1-to-1, heads to tails. $100 comes from here to go other side. This is called true odds. That's the terminology in math. It makes perfect sense. True odds. I like it. It is very clear indication, the payment that you deserve in a way. because we like to be equal. $100, $100. When your chances are 50-50, you want to be paid equal. So this is 0% housage. No casino will open that. Now we go to this insane casino. This insane casino says you can bet heads or tails or both. If you guess it right, you will lose your money. If you guess it wrong, you will lose your money. So sure lose. There's no player with the right mind will ever play this game, because you will lose your money extremely quickly without fail. No chance. Absolutely no chance, because 100%. I think you should spend your money on charity. It will be better cause. So now, as a casino operator, I don't want to go 0 housage. I don't want to go 100% housage. What is the balance? The balance the operator does is offer you a game. It looks still equal, heads and tails, 50-50, but the payout will be different. It will be like that. Casino reality, more realistic casino. Still imaginary because there's no real game like this. There are similarities in some countries, Australia, 2 up. But this casino says, when you guess it right, I'll pay you 0.9 to 1. What it means is $100, they will give you 90. Well, when you lose, you will lose your $100. So you think you are getting a $90 payout because you guess it right. Remember the first scenario, when there are true odds. The casino is not paying you $90. Casino is cutting $10 from you. In fact, casino is taking an advantage. That is house advantage. So this happens 50% of the time. So that's the house edge in a concept-wise, it's 5%. So every hand you play, you win nothing, you lose nothing on 0 per house edge, you lose everything on 100%, and you lose 50% of the time your $10, which is 5% house edge. So this is a very realistic casino concept. So this is how the casino make money. Try to play heads and tails at the same time. What happens? Every hand you will lose that $10. Or as a casino operator, I'm very happy to see one customer play heads, the other player plays tails. I get my $10 every hand. This is the house edge. So how does it work in our casino? From the realistic casino, let's come to reality. Reality, MBS. Very real. All of you are connected to that. Roulette game is my first example. In roulette, when we first open, we open with a very common roulette game of single zero. Single zero means there's only 1 0. There are numbers 1 to 36. Total outcome is 37. If you try to bet every number at once, you will lose 1 chip every time, because we pay 35 to 1, and with your bet, you have 36 in your hand, but you put 37 numbers. So you are losing 1 out of 37. That is, in a simple calculation, 1 divided by 37. Don't get confused. I'm just giving the numbers, how the concept works. So 2.7. You know what? We said, let's put 1 more 0. Now we have 38 numbers, same payout. So all of a sudden, you end up with 36 chips in the hand, 2 of them lost, gone. So house edge almost double, 5.26. And just recently, we said that's not enough. Let's put 1 more 0. And we said 000, but we call it Sands Roulette. It is live in Macau, it's live in Vegas, it is actually our own game. So we use the math and the game and the customer behavior, and then we created this game. So we made a change by using a constant. That constant is the math. That will never change. The math was there before Joe started his career. Actually, before Joe was born, imagine that. It was always there, since the casinos invented. So house edge is there. We use the house edge to apply to create a new game. So what do? We use that in our advantage, so we can offer different prices. We can have higher expensive game on roulette, single zero. You can actually reduce the limit on double zero, and you can actually even further reduce in triple zero. Essentially, it will cater to different customers. Let's go back to Baccarat. The traditional game, very common single zero, a little bit more modern, double zero, and definitely very crazy idea, but triple zero, it's very innovative. Now let's go to Baccarat. Baccarat has traditional Baccarat ever since with the commission Baccarat we offer, where you cut 5% from the banker. And the house edges, just the numbers. Banker house edge is 1.06. Play is 124. There's quite a complex calculation here. That's not the venue to show it. But remember the calculations we made before. There are simple and same principle applied. So there are numbers working for us. Then later on, no commission Baccarat have been invented. It's been implemented. And it is actually all the mass games we have. And quite popular, speedy game. Then we didn't stop there. We didn't create a new game. We added a side bet. It is called Fortune 6. That was back in 2014, if I'm not wrong. That is a high house edge game, 16.66. Now, I want to say one thing about this game. This game, Fortune 6, is playing into customers' psychology. High house edge is one thing. Losing and getting half paid on banker and no commission is very irritating feeling. And they bet on Fortune 6 because Fortune 6 pays when you win on 6. So the math, the customer behavior, and the new game. Again, use the math and assign, and you blend with the art of customer interaction, and you come up with a new game. It's a very successful side bet. We didn't stop there. We do have Sands Baccarat family, our own games. You all know these games. If you are marketing, you know we actually promoted that. If you are in gaming optimization, you know we ask you to calculate this. There are maths used to create new games and in order to offer variety. And these are Sands Baccarat family game. These are our own games. And we don't have emotional attachment. 7-Up, Power Baccarat, the first two games we started 6-7 years ago. It was all around the place. They are not around anymore as popular as before. We can remove them. We replace with the new ones. But we are using this to create new games. Now, we use the math to create the games. And we use this house edge for one more thing. That's the most crucial thing. Applies and affects everybody. Marketing, slot team, analytic team, table games team, everybody. And financial team. That's the theoretical win, the last part of my lesson today, so-called. Theoretical win has a very simple formula. Theo win. The money you bet, remember, $100 on heads, and the house edge was 5. You generate every time you bet $5 Theo. Why do we use this information? Because of customers like Player Joe. Player Joe is our most loyal customer. He's visiting us last 45 years. He play, we track it, last few weeks. He play on 00 roulette. If you recall, the house edge was 526. Approximately $100,000. It doesn't mean he lost $100,000. It doesn't mean he bring $100,000. He actually puts money around and play. We track it. He put 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 500. Over the time of, let's say, 10 days, his total bet accumulated to 100,000. without thinking how much he lost or win. We have a number to attach to his value. He generated $5,260 theoretical win for us. So we have to take care of this customer accordingly. That is where the reinvestment comes in. So how much of this money you want to reinvest to Joe? Do you want to give him $10,000 bottle of wine? I don't think so. Not for display. Or you want to offer him $2,000 wine? Maybe. It is your decision as an operator how much you want to reinvest. But you will face this one wherever you go. All the casinos use this. I think Joe mentioned that we are very generous, very aggressive. I agree. Because we know our math probably better than others. We know how to calculate it. We know how to store it. Data mining. We collect good data. Is it perfect? No. But we know how to use it. We are a very superior optimization team. And it's very good leaders who understand it in all around all the departments. So we have a good mixture of it. So when the customer wins 10,000 or lose 10,000, which one is more valuable for you? It is a hard decision because the winner customer can be the loser next time, the loser can be the winner next time. So you don't have one ground to analyze the customers equally. TheoWin will give you a normalized platform. Regardless of customer win-loss, you know the value he's adding. Regardless of his money he's bringing and changing for chips or credits, you still use the TheoWin. He may bring $1 million. If he doesn't play, what's the value? Doesn't mean anything. So you can equalize the customer's value and you can understand the customer's value in an equal way. Then you can decide what to do with it. How much of this goes to your expenses? How much you want to keep profit? How much you want to reinvest the customers? In summary, casino math. It looks like this. When I first started, really, it was like this. It is still like that. But there's an understanding as you read more, as you are curious more. So next time, when you walk by a game, let it be slot machines. I didn't touch slots here because slot is purely electronic and it is programmed to put that RTP inside. It may be for the next TED Talk by one of the Chase Academy slot personnel. They will explain. When you walk by a game, look at the game. What are the outcomes, probabilities? What kind of housage is working on this? Be curious about it. Go and look for it. Try to understand it. I'm not expecting you to do advanced math. If you want to do it, go and do it. But there's a housage. Please remember that. And now, using that, how can you create something new? Can you offer new game? When you do a comp next time, when you cut MCC, when you rate a customer, when you are deducting the points, when you are giving free play, think about TheoWin and how it was derived. It came from housage. Think about that. You may find a new way to serve the customers, either comp or a new game. So end of the day, casino doesn't gamble. It is all about math. So this is how it works. And the rules and regulations protects us. It creates an environment. And Justin is going to come up and tell you how it will work. Thank you.